Nikki Haley appeared on Neil Cavuto's Fox News show yesterday. She tried to explain her plan to raise the Social Security retirement age, and it ended up being an insane word salad that made no sense. She really is struggling to explain her policies. Let's take a listen.
Governor, then how would you address, when you talked about changing the retirement age for Social Security, what were you talking about?
So if we're talking about entitlement reform, the first thing we do is, look, I have parents in their 80s. We take care of them. I don't want anything to hurt the seniors or anyone that's getting ready to retire. But I have kids in their 20s. Those are the ones that need to go and know that things are going to be changed. So what you would do is, for those in their 20s coming into the system, we would change the retirement age so that it matches life expectancy. The second thing we would do is we would limit benefits for the wealthy. Then you go further instead of...
Now understand that benefits are already limited for the wealthy, and it has nothing to do with inflation. Like this is just a mishmash that reflects a total lack of understanding and lack of thinking about what the hell is going on.
Living increases based on inflation. That's something Republicans and Democrats would agree with. And then more than that, expand Medicare Advantage plans so that we have more competition and we run the cost down.
Now, that actually has nothing to do with Social Security. Nothing.
That's what entitlement reform will look like. That's how you go and make it sustainable. And that's also how you bring down the cost of what we're seeing right now.
So when you're talking about adjusting the ages depending on, the kids in their 20s, and obviously that they can come into the program later, or they might have other options. What are you telling those in their 60s now or in their 50s now? At what point would a president, Nikki Haley, say, all right, we're bringing you in a little later?
You keep your promises to those that we've made promises to. Those that have invested in should keep what they have. We shouldn't in any way jeopardize those that are already expecting something.
Yeah, but the problem is when she talks about people in their 20s will get lower benefits, most people in their 20s have also started to pay in. So really, if you wanted to do this fairly, you would say, we're going to raise the retirement age for people who have not yet started to pay in. That would really be the quote fair way to do it under this paradigm.
It's about the new group coming in.
So
I'm sorry,
Governor, what is the new group? I'm sorry, what's the new group? Are you telling those 50 and over you're safe, 50 and under you're on? I just use that arbitrary number. What are you saying is a group that which you're saying that's going to change?
It's the new ones coming in. It's those in their 20s that are coming in.
But remember, people in their 20s, particularly if they had jobs in high school or during college, they've already started paying in with the belief that their benefits are going to be based on the current system. So it doesn't really work.
You're coming to them and you're saying the game has changed. We're going to do this completely differently. That's how you go and you focus on it. We've got to start doing things like that. But more than that, we have to look at the fact that there is a spending problem in D.C.
Okay, and that's totally unrelated because that's actually a separate issue from the way that Social Security is funded. And they love to do that. They go, well, we've got debt. Okay, right. But like the Social Security system has its own tax collection system and its own benefit system, and the funds are invested in a particular way. What does our general debt have to do with it? It really doesn't have much to do with it, unless they wanted to argue, well, inflation in general devalues Social Security benefits, but they're indexed to inflation, at least in theory. So Nikki Haley is not exactly showing a deep understanding of this. She's talking about limiting benefits for wealthy people. Their benefits are already limited. And in part, they're limited by the fact that we only tax the first 100 and whatever thousand of income. And that is where the limitation comes from. And then she's talking about Medicare Advantage and whatever else. I don't think she really understands what's going on. That's my opinion based on this response. You let me know if you disagree.